You can commence.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ginny's just doing a sound check. So while she's doing that, I'm just going to do a cheesy advert for Frenchic wall paint. Have you tried it? Because if you haven't tried it, you've really missed out. It's an award-winning, dead flat matte, fully scrubbable wall paint with maximum coverage, beautiful colours. And if you mark it, if the dog comes in and shakes and splatters paint all up the wall, not paint, but muddy paw marks and things like that, or your child crayons on the wall, it is absolutely fully scrubbable with a Brillo pad.
All right, we've got sound. You can stop now.
Yay, Virginia said we can stop now. Thank God for that. So, actually, did we put a microphone on Joe? We didn't, did we?
Oh no, just take this one.
Ah, right. We've got a guest here today. He's actually down in the other room having a little mooch, and I'm just going to quickly say what's been going on this week. Then we'll mic him up, and we'll pick his brains about a few things. So, chaotic week this week. I've done a house clearance that took up 2 days. I've got muscles on muscles on muscles at the moment, and boxes of stuff everywhere. My garage is full, my bedroom is full. It's just all crazy. And then on top of all that, yesterday I had 13 boxes of Frenchic paint delivered, and I managed to get the rest of it stowed this morning just before we went live. So it is a bit chaotic. I haven't got prices on anything. No surprise there, I know. But we are working through it.
We miss Nick and we want Nick to come back.
Who's Nick? Yes, Nick. Who's Nick? Yes, you suddenly confused me then, because
right,
I thought,
you can
what?
Stand in the corner now.
Yes, Nick, if you're watching, we need you desperately. You are the person that keeps the wheels oiled and keeps things going. So, morning, Karen.
Asking where's Nick. So
yes, well, Nick will hopefully be here next week. We have another guest next week, which I'm very excited about, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. We're going to have some fizz. We're going to shove the coffee sideways and have fizz instead. So that would be good. Let's just have a little wander around.
Sharing it to 40 million different.
Oh yes, Virginia's doing her
clever
thing.
World.
So what else can I tell you? I've got boxes here of china and various bits and pieces. I'll probably just be putting them out on the pavement and just saying, I don't know, £5 a box or something, and people can come along and do lucky dip, and if they wanted it for car booting stuff, something like that, that would be useful. Lots of smaller bits at home in my garage. Some of the furniture here we've managed to sort of bring into the showroom. Some of it's still in my van, but we are working through it as quickly as we can, which is not very quick these days.
Julie too says good morning. I hope you're all okay.
Morning, Jules. Nice to know you're there, my lovely. Lots of artwork coming in, bits selling now, which is really nice. It's lovely to see that it's coming in, it's going. We've got a wall gallery at the moment where we've been putting up some of the artwork, and yeah, I'm excited about that. It'll be sort of adding a whole new dimension, and we've got some sculptures and things coming in as well. So bit of a sort of change up, a bit of a mishmash, and just to make it a lot more interesting. And yeah, it's all going well, but it's a bit exhausting in the process. So
you're not getting any younger, let's face it.
No, let's face it. Thanks for that, Ginge. I can always rely on you for a real nice sort of
old age pensioner now.
I know, I actually got my first payment. Can you believe it?
Well,
just
more
like
money than you've seen for a long time.
I know, it's like proper money at last. Hurrah! So, bear with us 2 seconds. Joe, are you free? Come on up. We're just going to mic you up. We should have done this before. We're going to nick the mic off Virginia, put it onto you.
How the sausage is made, as they say, you know, absolutely.
I don't quite know which way around to do these, but I think that'll be on there. Let's just check.
There we are.
Let's just see. I don't know if that will stay there, but I think it will.
We'll give it a go.
So, everybody, this is Joe Trinder. Joe is a partner, an equal partner at the Wotton auction rooms, and he's graced us with his presence today to come down and answer a few questions.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, it's lovely to see you.
Really nice to have you here.
Most welcome.
A font of knowledge.
I don't know about that, but I mean, it's
a real font.
I've been called worse, so I'll take that on a Friday morning. Yeah, but no, it's lovely to see you both as always. Thank you.
So, next week you'll have an auction. Tell us what's happening.
Well, of course, the bank holidays come along and it's sort of pushed us along the day. So normally we'd be on view on Monday and selling on the Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's obviously a day later. So on view on Tuesday, selling Wednesday, Thursday. It's a circa 1800 lot sort of, blockbuster sale as always at Wotton, featuring everything from the usual sort of, furniture, decorative arts, fine art, we've got a lovely selection of wine and whiskey. We've got some wonderful jewellery. We've got some great watches. So yeah,
I've always wondered about the wine and whiskey side of things. How do you know that you don't spend something like, I don't know, £200 on a bottle of rare whiskey and then find that it's absolutely shite?
Well, wonderfully put. So
sorry.
No, that's fine. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my sort of gig. So whiskey tends to be that much easier because it, the alcohol content sort of means it keeps far better. The thing with whiskey the problem you can have is the angel share, where over time it can just evaporate through the bottle sort of neck and with the cork and everything else where it sort of connects. So you can get a bottle of whiskey that's never been opened with sort of that much gone.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that expression, the angel share.
Well, that's nice,
it just
isn't
whisks
it?
away,
Yes.
and they're up on a cloud
having a lovely old time.
having a merry old time upstairs, exactly. But with wine, it's obviously that can turn, that can cork,
Yes.
it can go rancid. You're quite right. So that's all about how it's been stored and has it been cellared properly, where's it been, and so you find out a bit about the history of it.
Right.
And you can look, with certain wines, you can look through the bottle with a light and see what's going on, but there's a degree of have
so
a
it's
go
a bit
and,
like a lucky dip then.
yeah,
Really.
kind of something about and find out. It's
Yeah.
but no, it's
embarrassing, wouldn't it? A dinner party introducing your £300 bottle of wine that you've just
and it's something,
bought,
yeah,
and
kind
it's
of
rubbish.
vinegar. Yeah, I'm sure it's happened. Hopefully not anything I've sold recently, but no, I don't think so. But no, I think normally it's pretty quantifiably straightforward. You know where it's been, you know where it's been stored.
Sure.
You know the vintages are good. You're away.
Good.
Yeah.
So which?
So yeah, I should start with all this information tonight. So we are just up the hill in the glorious Tabernacle Chapel and Sunday School buildings, which are a wonderful feature here in the wonderful town of Wotton-under-edge, where we've been for about, I think, 50 years.
Yes.
So not me personally, dare I say. We've been in the town and in the surrounding area overall since about 1855. So even longer than Dear Philip.
And are they normally sort of monthly?
Yeah, so we have so at the moment we have our sort of, we call it the monthly sale. It's about every 5 weeks, but it's essentially a monthly, multi-departmental sale. So we have different specialists that do different things, and that covers pretty much every wider facet of the art and antique market. Like I say, everything from furniture to, classic cars to, wine and whiskey and watches. We then have different sort of specialist sales that come up throughout the year as well, and we're developing more of those all the time. So the next one is on the 21st of September, which is a specialist coin, banknote and stamp, and also fashion, luxury, good and designer sale. So we've kind of, without being stereotypical, we've hopefully got something for him and something for her in the same auction. And we've had some wonderful consignments put through already. Tomorrow morning, I'm collecting a fabulous 1970s Rolls Royce from
lovely.
dear. More of a Bentley man.
Come here.
Oh dear.
Come on, Paz.
Oh dear.
There. People are allowed to look through the window, Paddy.
Not a Rolls Royce man.
Clearly not.
Oh dear.
Sorry, mate.
That's
It's
all right.
the usual mayhem in our place.
Oh. Well, no, like I say, it feels coming in here, surrounded by all the antiques and everything, with dogs and things running around. It feels like home. It feels like a good auction house. So I love it. It's a good place to be on a Friday morning.
So just to be clear, then, on the first day of the sale, what will be going through on that day generally? Yeah,
exactly. Good point. So our sales are typically broken down into sort of 2 halves. So the first day is essentially everything that isn't furniture, the sort of outside garden effects, which is another big part of what we do, by the way, big focus of ours. And we tend to have the paintings and rugs on day 2 as well. So everything that isn't that, I'll probably explain that in a slightly ad hoc way.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be curious.
That's going to be a curious
one.
So basically, day 1 is all the small items.
Yeah.
Everything that isn't furniture. Jewellery.
Yeah.
Watches.
Books.
Decorative arts, porcelain, glass. Everything except from the furniture, the paintings and the carpets.
Right.
That's always on day 2.
Right. Okay.
That's hopefully a bit clearer, isn't it?
That is clearer.
Good.
And so, just before we go and ask you to pick your brains with something that's come in, what would you say as a piece of advice to somebody who's a bit scared of auctions? They're frightened that they've twitched their eye and they've just spent £500 on a rare lot.
Oh yeah, that's old chestnut. My advice is just to you come along, get involved, and you will straight away see. And I speak for Wotton and any good auction house up and down the land, that it's actually a very welcoming, open environment. It's not a stuffy, sort of tight, airless space where, like you say, if you scratch your nose, you spend £1,000. Any auctioneer worth their salt, and even less, would never actually do that. So it's a bit of a myth. Yeah. And actually, you come along, you come into our cell room, you walk around at your leisure, you view things, you can ask questions. We're there to help. We can talk you about the pieces, talk you around the pieces, tell you about their history, where they're from. tell you, any sort of issues that might be present in their condition or anything like that, give you full confidence with what you're buying, and then suddenly you're completely sort of feeling informed and you know what you're getting, and you come along on sale day, as you know, the atmosphere is up.
Oh, it's fabulous.
It's theatre, it's buzz, it's drama. We're up on the
Yes.
rostrum doing our thing.
It's very amusing, isn't it?
We hope so.
Yeah.
You try to make sure it
Yes.
is. And so you get stuck into the sort of fun of it, and you realise that actually this is a really fun place to be. And you can come along, you can look around, and you can come along on sale day and not buy a thing. There's no obligation whatsoever. So we're not sort of looking at you if you sat there not bidding. We want you to come in and just enjoy the environment, be part of the sort of Wotton family, exactly. So please come and see us, and you'll straight away find out that actually it's not at all difficult or complicated.
So do they need to register first if they think that there's something they might want to buy?
Yeah, so the thing to do is always, if you're coming along and you think you might bid, and like I say, no obligation whatsoever, but just register in the office. So you'll go and see one of my really lovely staff that'll, just take down some details from you. It's just basic stuff, just name, address, telephone number, etc. They'll give you a bidding number, and then, you're away. That battle commenced.
Fantastic. I remember the first time I ever bid on anything, my mouth went dry, my tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth.
Well,
and then when I got it, I felt absolutely euphoric. It was fantastic.
Turn this round a minute.
Oh, okay, turn around, yes.
I was going to say, I remember the first time I sold anything on the rostrum, and that was my 18th birthday, which is quite a long time ago now. And I was equally, if not more, terrified. So, and now
Isn't
it's the best part of the
now
job.
You just get completely used to it.
Yeah, now I just adore it. Long sale day. Oh, thank you. I hope so. Do my best. I had a very good teacher in Philip.
Oh,
so,
well,
it's always helped very well.
Philip's a lifer, isn't he?
Indeed.
Yes,
Indeed.
absolutely.
Always.
Shall we
Have a wonder.
just take you down? I just wanted to show you something that came in yesterday from part of the house clearance I did. And then I've got a sort of a technical question I wanted to ask you on something that's outside. And then we can have a quick wander around. And you're done then. You're free to go. You've survived.
That's it. Well,
you take him
it
off,
was as painless as that. There you go. As I knew it was going to be.
Or not? Yeah.
There we are.
Come on,
he's keeping sentry. He's doing his job.
So if we have a quick wander down here. Yesterday, I managed to get two guys that were sort of passing to unload 2 chest of drawers, 2 coffers, and various bits and pieces, which was marvellous. All I had to do was make some space, which was actually quite a hard thing to do. But I just wanted to ask you about this because
that's rather sweet, isn't it?
I thought this was rather nice, and it's got this sort of dating on it. So what's the story?
Yeah, well, it's a lovely period piece. I mean, that I have no reason to disbelieve that date whatsoever. It's 1742. It's a lovely sort of 18th century piece of English, essentially country furniture. A nice sort of, moulded panelled front like that. And it's actually lovely. It's got its seemingly original, if not very sort of close to its date, chased brass little escutcheon there, which is a nice little detail. And nowadays they're just really super bits of storage, aren't they? Because you have it on the landing or on the hallway or the foot of the bed or whatever. Yeah, exactly, with your sort of blankets or whatever else in there. And they work really very well. It's got a couple
it's oak, presumably.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a nice little piece of country oak. And it's got, the thing is, for me, it's got a few blemishes, and I'm not talking it down by saying that. But that doesn't bother me at all. I always say to myself and to clients, if I was made in 1742, I'd have a few bruises and a few bits missing. I already do, and I was made in 1993. So, but it's rather lovely.
1993? You're only 12 then, aren't you?
14, yeah. I've weathered terribly, darling. So it's just, it's a lovely thing, and I think it's just a very good practical piece of furniture that can be used in sort of daily life today. That's the thing with good pieces of sort of period furniture. Sometimes we might sort of struggle to think how we can accommodate that in everyday life. You could use that all the time, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, underneath here, as you can see, June, if you look through, there's a base missing out of one of the drawers. Yeah. And the base panels need sort of sliding up and some others putting in. But presumably, for modern day use, if somebody just sort of repaired that, or if I managed to creep round Nick enough to get him to do it.
I'm sure if you ask nicely, he'll be very happy to.
I mean, that would be a useful thing to store shoes and boots and things in the hallway, wouldn't it? Just sit on it.
Yeah, you can fill it full of wine, do what you want with it. I mean, exactly. And so all it needs is a little bit of board put in there, sympathetically, which will cost all of nothing and time-wise take half an hour. And you're away.
I wish it did.
Well,
I know what you mean.
I'm paraphrasing. All for the camera.
Me for about 8 weeks.
No, but it's good to go otherwise, isn't it? And I think okay. For example, it's missing one of those like nice little sort of hair drop handles. But again, for me, and maybe I am only speaking for myself, but that won't bother me at all.
No,
because it's just a nice old boy.
And it's got a lovely pattern on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Could tell a few stories, I'm sure.
Oh dear, yeah. There's another one.
Stop it. Yes, you don't need to bark at everybody that goes past, Paddy. they're allowed.
Well, no, he's doing his job very well.
So,
He's a security guard, isn't he? Yeah.
if I sort of label this one up and sort it all out, and if I put price tag on it around about 200-ish,
I think it's the postman.
Is that going to be all right?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on.
Yeah?
Really, I think
Fabulous.
that's a very fair price. And you think, you go to IKEA, you buy something of that sort of size to do the same job for, I don't know, 150 quid, 200 quid, 250 quid.
Yeah.
And within 18 months, it's got bits chipping off of it, and you need to replace it because it looks naff.
Yeah.
That will be here after all of us.
Absolutely.
And the other,
in fact, they might even bury me that one because that's kind of there already. I'd fit just about, wouldn't
the sarcophagus of I hope not. I mean, gosh. And the other lovely thing, of course, which is I think so important nowadays, and we all need to make more of a song and dance about, that isn't costing the earth to be made again, is it? No. It's not cutting down any sort of more timber. Nothing's been burnt or transported halfway across the world for someone to put that in their Cotswolds home and to enjoy it. No. Whereas the modern equivalent is terrible for the environment. So we're all feeling more green nowadays, rightly. Antiques are the way to do it. They really are.
Agree. Yeah. I agree. Quickly, we've got a sort of a camphor type carved Chinese
so
dress
almost
there.
A similar thing from a completely different part of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely. So in camphor wood again, as you say, which I've always loved.
The smell of them is just gorgeous, isn't it?
Exactly. And just really nicely sort of carved. So that's obviously quite a bit younger than our friend opposite, 20th century. Essentially an export piece that was made for Johnny Sally Westerners to take away and enjoy memories of a trip to a different part of the world.
To do the same job with it.
To do the same job.
Well, good morning, Fiona and Joseph, and James and Tracy Allen.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. They're coming up to see me later because we bought something online, and I've got some bits for you guys if you're interested. So just sort of moving around here then, just ever so quickly, we've got these two pretty little units in. Yeah. Again, they do the job. They're pretty, aren't they?
They are. I love that sort of, diminutive little size of that.
Tell me what your definition of diminutive was.
Well, I say, so sort of like me, it fights quite hard for the space it takes up. It's compact. It does a good job. But pish.
I like that.
But it's a really nice, neat little piece of furniture. Yes. And again, that can go in a contemporary home really well. It doesn't take up half the bedroom or whatever. No. I really like the fact that we've got, seemingly, I don't know if they're original, I don't think they are because there's scars going around them, but we've got some nice little brass locker scutcheons with the handles kind of then popped on top. So it's got
a bit of character.
Yeah, exactly. In the politest possible way. It's been sort of mucked around with it a little bit, but I don't mind that at all because, again, it's character. It's just a lovely, sweet thing.
The drawers all go in and out nice as well, so that's one that I'll be trying to get onto the system
nice
sometime
feet.
soon.
Good thing.
And then we've got this one, your typical sort of bow-fronted mahogany chest of drawers. A little bit of damage here and there to the veneer, but nothing sort of too stand-outish, is it?
If you ask me, it doesn't sort of matter at all, really.
No, they always look good, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And again, it's just character.
This one's got some interesting things in the handles, look like mother of pearl.
Yeah, rather sweet. So fruitwood handles, seemingly, which are rather nice. They've been nicely turned, and then you've got these nice sort of, like you say, sort of chased or engraved mother of pearl sort of roundels set in them, and it's just a nice little bit of embellishment, a nice little bit of quality and decorations go with it. Nice generous bun feet, so it's lifted up. It's a good thing.
So if somebody's got deceased estate and if they want to get rid of some pieces at auction, what do they need to do?
They need to call me.
They do, don't
Basically,
they?
that's all they need to do.
We're going to put your link at the bottom of this broadcast.
Perfect. No, so honestly, always, of course, here to help with anything like that, really. It often starts with a conversation and a bit of advice. So it might be two pieces like this. It might be a whole house full of pieces. We're there to assist. So we have a conversation. Sometimes people feel comfortable sending us pictures first, and we can just like we have done today, just look at them and comment really straightforwardly and honestly about what they are and what they're worth. And we'll always give you a very straightforward, honest appraisal of that, with realistic sort of today market prices. Equally, of course, I spend most of my life when I'm not here doing this and up at the galleries. I'm out in clients' houses, valuing things in the flesh in front of me, and that's how it works sort of most of the time.
So Sarah Broughton.
Oh yes.
Hi from Daisy Daisy.
Just down the road.
Who your star of the week is?
This is Joe Trinder. He's one of the joint partners of Wotton Auction Rooms.
Just up the road.
A fine, upstanding member of Wotton-under-edge, don't you know?
Indeed. Thank you.
Daisy is also another lovely shop.
Absolutely.
With clothing for the kiddies.
Absolutely. Lord Mayor of Stroud, that is. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your Royal Highness. I always feel like I should curtsy when Tony comes in here. He's just so bloody marvellous at promoting everything to do with Stroud and Wotton-under-edge and local towns. He's brilliant.
Wonderful.
I'm just going to come this way. I thought we'd go out. I've just got one technical question to ask you about something.
We're getting technical.
And then we'll have to let everybody go because I expect by now they'll be thinking to themselves, I've got a life to lead and we need to get out. But
no worries.
I love asking questions about auctions. I think auctions are the most fascinating places to go.
Dare I say, so do I. I'm slightly biased. But but it's just a lovely kind of fun environment, isn't it? You know. Okay. Oh, is it the light?
You probably, well, is it the light or is it just the signal, Ginge? It's just that I get things in which sometimes I think I can't tell if this is stone or if it's
recon. Yeah, sure.
And so is there a technique for the layman?
This is going to sound a bit pretentious and not very helpful whatsoever, probably, but it's for me, finished. So looking at this, say here, is a really attractive thing.
Yes.
Don't worry, we can talk about it inside.
Yeah, we can talk about it inside just very quickly. And for those people that couldn't see that, let's go back up to the top here. And
so let me just say, Sarah Rose is saying another wonderful book for business representative, and she said, should have guessed professional from your wonderful voice.
Oh.
There you go.
There we are.
There we go. You have a wonderful voice, darling, don't you?
Face for radio, but a wonderful voice. There we are. That's so kind. Thank you. Jolly good.
Yes. I can quickly ask you that question again for the people that couldn't see what we were looking at.
We can almost see it from here, can't we?
Yeah, so we've got a stone trough.
We were talking all things stone trough. So we were talking about the difference of natural stone versus sort of composite or recon, all these sorts of words that we hear.
You can't tell,
it can be really hard, and there are some examples that are more sort of naturalistic and frankly better than others. That's a really nice one. That is recon. Right. And the way I can tell is if you look very, very closely, it's got quite a sort of I don't know how to explain this really sort of concisely, but quite a kind of friable sort of it almost looks very, if you get very up close, it almost looks like a sort of a spongy kind of consistency. Right. You can see the little air pockets of where it's been cast and then it's cooled. And that really sort of gives it away. Whereas when it's a natural stone, it's much harder and a sort of a tighter material. All the little sort of elements of it are sort of much closer together. It all sounds a bit technical, and really you tend to just build up an experience of knowing it when you see it.
So it's not by scraping with a pair of scissors.
You can do. Yeah, to see how it's sort of, you can, but then of course, depending, I mean, you wouldn't really tell, but you don't want to put a big scar across it that's bright yellow compared to the rest of it being lovely and weathered, you know. But I'd argue that, frankly, it doesn't really matter because that's a really sweet thing. Again, it's a really neat little size. So whether you've got a huge, great, country pile or a really sweet townhouse in Wotton or nearby, you could accommodate that, couldn't you? Yeah,
and the fact it's beautifully grown with moss and weathered and stuff, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Ali. Thanks for joining us. So, because we try and keep it to about 20 minutes, we'll sort of,
wrap up.
Reluctantly say we're done. So everybody don't forget that the viewing date is next Tuesday.
Indeed.
In Wotton-under-edge.
Selling on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes. And what time are you open to on the Wednesday for viewing?
We're open until 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, fab. Okay. And God willing, we will be back next Friday.
Fabulous.
And yes, I think Nick will be here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next Friday as well.
I did overhear this morning with fizz, not coffee.
Yes, you
did. So I've got a bone to pick, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. This is not good, is it?
No, I should form a union of guests, and we shall all revolt.
To get the fizz, you've got to have come from Australia.
Okay, I haven't come.
You've only just come down the hill.
No, I've come down the hill when this morning was from Westonbirt. So I mean, I can't really compete. No. There we are.
So we've got Teresa saying we will be there.
Fabulous.
Gafford saying morning. Hope all is
morning.
Well.
Good morning.
Yes, fantastic.
So thank you everybody for jumping on, and also if you can like, share, and comment, that all helps the algorithm. Also, this will be uploaded directly onto the YouTube channel straight afterwards if you prefer to watch on there, and also like and share on there.
And can we put a link for the auction house as well so that people is everything online now?
Absolutely.
It's all online.
It's all online.
So you can go and have a look.
Come and have a look.
And you can always now look out and go and say hi to Joe because he's very friendly, very nice, and just the best local auction.
Thank you so much.
Auction house.
Thank you.
So see you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.